Hello, and welcome to another episode of Commander Durdle. So we're taking a look at a commander here from Hour of Devastation. It is the Locust God, one of 3 gods in the set. So the Locust God is a 4/4 for 4 blue red. It has flying, and whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying and haste. 2 blue red, draw a card, then discard a card. When the Locust God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So, what I'm hoping will happen here, in cahoots with the EDHREC algorithm that's built into Architect, is we should see a style of deck, which I think they referred to on EDHREC as wheels. So this wheeling of cards, this business of drawing a card and then discarding a card. Obviously there's other things you can do with this commander. You could, it's a blue-red, so some sort of wizard tribal maybe. Those sort of things. Blue-red again lends itself to spells, as in non-creature spells. But I think the most popular style of deck is this draw a card, then discard a card, and in this case what we want to do is see if it's going to echo this. You know, whenever we draw a card, we get to create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with, well, in this case, a 1/1 blue and red instant creature token with flying, but I suppose we don't really care as long as it's some extra bonus when we draw a card or when we discard a card. I've pulled a few cards from the set, obviously, to help with the starting seed. We've got Champion of Wits, which is 2 and a blue. It's a 2/1. When Champion of Wits enters the battlefield, you may draw a card equal to its power. If you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. So of course, if Locust God is in play and we play this, it's going to be, we're going to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. And so we get also 2 1/1 blue and red instant creature tokens out of that. It also has Eternalize on it, so 5 and 2 blue, exile this card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie Naga wizard with no mana cost. Doesn't really, that bit of it doesn't really synergize with this. But no doubt, because it's creating a token, there are cards which do play well with tokens. For instance, Populate, those sort of things. So we'll see if we get lots of Populate suggested. And then we've got Eternal of Harsh Truths, 2 and a blue, 1/3, afflict 2. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 2 life. Whenever Eternal of Harsh Truth attacks and isn't blocked, draw a card. So again, if this successfully triggers, then, and the Locust God is in play, then this triggers as well. So cool. Tragic Lesson is the card draw spell in the set. So 2 and a blue, we get to draw 2 cards. Then we discard a card unless you return a land you control to its owner's hand. Crash Through just a single red. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. So quite interesting in a tokens deck, where if we might buff our tokens and then swing in with everything and then play this. Although there is a problem with this in that you can see it coming, but you do get to draw a card off of it, so it'll trigger this. We've got Traveller's Amulet. It's in the set, so we might as well have it as one of our artifacts until we find something maybe better. Got Sunset Pyramid, 3 brick counters on it, 2 an attack mover, brick counter from Sunset Pyramid, draw a card, and then 2 tap scry 1. So we've got some synergies there with our commander. Manalith, add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool, and Mirage Mirror. Mirage Mirror becomes a copy of a target artifact, creature or enchantment or land until end of turn. So let's see what sort of things we get suggested. Obviously there'll be other on-colour cards that I could have added from the set, but I decided to keep it fairly simple. Okay, so where to start? So I suspect with this it's going to be fairly equal in terms of the sort of cards that I can play in the deck. Basically anything that synergizes well with the commander. So that could be creatures that have card draw for them, or just utility creatures, card draw instants, sorceries, artifacts. Obviously we want to play around, I don't know, 33 to 37 land maybe. But we'll see what else we've got. I'm also very interested in anything that has proliferate on it because of the tokens. So I think I'll start off with Planeswalkers. What do we got here? So it's suggested 2 to me. Until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gets -2, -0 and loses flying. Create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying. And you get an emblem with islands you control have tap, draw a card. So I have that in there. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colourless servo artifact creature token. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn. See, if we're going to be drawing cards, I think it would be nice to play a Jace. Okay, here we go. Party Jace. Could be interesting in the deck. Right, let's have a look at some artifacts. It's interesting, it's not? It's good. Well, this looks interesting. There's some cards coming up here which I don't see a lot of, which is curious. Yeah, let's play some Mirror. Why not? Of course, the locket. It's interesting how it's suggesting a lot of cards that care about artifacts. Not sure where that's coming from. Possibly the seed, maybe. Sort of things I was putting in there. Let's have a look at some other spell types before I continue a bit further with that. Up to the first one you join. Yeah, that's good. Yep. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So we've got an alternative win condition here. Let's see what might be going on. Let me come back to that. Okay, this is now looking very interesting. It's cool to see how, that everything's working. So as I obviously add cards to my card pool, and something to remember with this is, as you add stuff in, if you're using this as a tool, remember to research, because it's going to refine based on the stuff you've added. So I suppose that'll work as long as I'm generating tokens of a certain type. Yeah, let's see where we go with that. Okay. The other thing to remember with this is obviously there's going to be a lot of stuff ends up in the graveyard. So we're in blue. So obviously the opportunities for card draw are good. Good old Aftermath. Of course, that was in the set. I should have taken a bit of a closer look at the Aftermath cards, actually. Where we are. Let's keep going, shall we? Yeah. On to sorceries. Let's see what happens. Now good old Faithless Looting. Ponder. Blasphemous Act. Preordain, yep. Each player shuffles the cards from his or her hand in his or her library, then draws that many cards. Interesting. Draw a card, scry 2. Oh, Treasure Cruise, where are we? Yeah. Nearly didn't spot that. How are we doing for sorceries? Let's see. It's one of those, a little bit of each deck. Hold your hand. Do I want to Gitaxian Probe? It's funny, I'm not seeing much proliferates. I think the mistake I made here, and it's just the way this is always a problem, a feature, is that obviously what I probably was better off doing is choosing things that generate tokens before I did other things. It's interesting, it's a lot dependent on what you do first as to what rabbit hole it goes down. This is why I find this series so fascinating. I mean, I love things like recommendation engines anyway, but it is... Oh, I know what I've got to do. Islands, Mountain. It's cool artwork. Reliquary Tower, Command Tower. Anything with interesting utility being suggested? This is the question. We should have the cycling lands in here. Okay. Right, so we got 14 lands in here. We need, I'll say about 37. Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, so at this point, I can fix this later, but we'll just leave it at that. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Because if we remember from the set musings, Hour of Devastation did have full art. So the ones you've seen already are all that will be the one stuff, because those lands have been spoiled. Phyrexia will be one. And it always shows you the most recent version of the card in here. Okay. I'm going to get some creatures in here, I suppose. I think we need to maybe do that. Seeing as we're going to be probably emptying our library, that might be have a good backup plan. Okay. Controls. Oh, 111. It's a bit crazy. Okay. Let's just Magnage that. Gonna lose 10 cards here. Wow. Just trying to think, with all the card drawing here, do I really need a solemn simulacrum? I'm going to get rid of those. Looks like I've removed most of the other the Hour of Devastation cards. think I've got more than enough card draw. Right, so there we go. I don't even know. I suppose it's curious to see how quickly I can get the commander out, how quickly everything synergizes. Okay. It's a 2-lander, Commander Sphere. Card draw ready, so okay, good. Locust God comes out turn 6, so fairly late. Because that comes into play tapped, I won't be up to 3 mana until turn 4. And I probably want to cast that. There's my mountain. So yeah, I can do all sorts of card draw shenanigans, obviously, but I'm just curious as to how this plays out. Yep, so we can get that out as well. Next island, so we're not doing too bad on our land drops, and then there's a training centre. Okay, so then we've got enough now to cast our commander. Okay, let's try another hand. It's another one of these decks where going beyond just working out when the commander comes out doesn't really achieve much, I don't think, when you're goldfishing this sort of spell heavy deck. It needs more of a proper game to work out what's going on. 1, 2, 3, so that's a 4-lander. I mean, you could save these until late game when this is out, and then use it to trigger this and get the insect creature tokens with haste. You want to swap her out? I can get the Armillary Sphere out. So yeah, it's interesting. Let's just see what we've got. So plenty of card draws here. Okay. And this time round we've got a mountain. And Izzet Signet, Lonely Sandbar. It comes out. One comes out. Izzet Signet comes out. Terramorphic Expanse. We can play that, crack it. Got a Lonely Sandbar as well. Another island. Tower, Izzet Signet Mountain. Good. Yeah, one thing I forgot, I forgot to rebalance the mana. Let me just do that for the purposes of when I put the deck in the description, actually. But yeah, I think I've seen all I need to see. In terms of with this amount of mana, we do seem to be... see, now I've got a problem. Get that out. Brainstorm as well. Good. Oh, there's an island. Tridecaphile, mountain. Good. So let's just go back. So at least I now know what a wheel deck might look like. Makes me curious about, you know, what is a good form for this. Because clearly it's not really, we're just drawing loads of stuff and discarding loads of stuff. We've got a few cards with alternate win conditions, but I don't know if we're really leveraging the generation of the flying red insect creature tokens as well as we could do. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think most of the token pump spells would be what, in green and white maybe? The only thing. Oh yeah. So what I would probably do, see, you got to be a bit careful here because some of these, there's a lot. I mean, probably definitely need more blue than red. I don't know if I want to go down that low to exactly match the breakdown. Maybe that. Let's just draw some sample hands actually. See what this looks like. Three lander. Oh, there's our fourth land. There's our fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay. Draw another hand. 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's good. One, two, three. Okay. So yeah, good. Okay. I think I'll stop there. Back to the deck. Yeah, this is an interesting deck. So I think this is one you just have to play with and not tweak over time. Just see. I suppose in some ways what I probably need to do is reacquaint myself with a Talleyrand Sky Summoner deck. Just see how that handles, like, you know, token generation in blue, in mono blue, and just see what sort of cards are useful, because that might give me a clue as to if I wanted to play around a bit more with this side of it. But I must admit, this is completely new territory for me. I have no concept of, like, within a wheel deck, exactly what the strategy is. I mean, obviously I know that you know, just having so many cards being cycled through the draw and discard, it does mean that you can, you know, hit certain pieces that you might need. But there's so many different ways you could potentially go with that. I think that's the trouble. So thanks once again for watching. Sorry the episode was a little bit vague and I didn't really say much at certain points, but I was having to really think, because like I said, it's completely new territory. But that's part of the fun of doing these, is just to use the algorithm that's built in here to sort of educate me in terms of you know, what sort of cards come up when you're talking about certain decks. And definitely you end up with a sort of like osmotic learning. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next video.